What's up, guys? Justin, the Green Ranger here, back with another Six Samurai deck profile for you guys. This time, instead of burning our opponent's life points down to 0 with Gaga Cowboy, we're making a board where we can negate every single card our opponent plays. This time, we're going to be focusing on skipping our opponent's turn completely, using the freshly off the ban list, Tellarknight Ptolemaeus. Now, I'll go through exactly how we're going to do that later in the combo video. This is going to be the deck profile only. So I'm going to go ahead and try to zoom by these as fast as possible. I run Triple Keyzon, an all-star of the deck. He is going to be summoned at least 50 to 60 times during the duel. We got Triple Fuma. Fuma is going to be how we get up to 7 materials on our Tellarknight. Run double Kageki. 3's too much. 2 is a really consistent number, especially because we're just trying to draw into the pieces that we need to make the combo start moving. 3 would be too cluttery. 2 is a perfect number. Run 2 Great Shogun Shiins, a great extender piece for the combos, and also when you're facing Runics or Labyrinth or Sky Strikers, decks that can, or Track Tricks, decks that can activate multiple cards one after another during your turn, this limits them to only one of those cards. So a great card to have. You leave it on field, your opponent pretty much scoops because they can't do anything but watch you play your combo. Then I run pairs of the Brother Sisters, the Shinai and the Mizuho. For those of you that don't know, that's how you do the infinite loop. I'll go through that in the combo video that I'm filming right after this. And then here are my one-ofs. I run 1 copy of Kizaru. He's a great card, but he is a dead card alone in your hand. He needs somebody else to be there to benefit from him. So only one of him is awesome because it's a extra name that's not Keyzon, because Keyzon cannot special summon itself if Keyzon's the only one on field. It's a great level 4 that also could stack underneath our Tellarknight. So only 1 copy of him. 1 copy of Grandmaster of the Six Sam. The only reason for that, you don't need 2 of them. His effect says you can only have 1 of them on field anyways. So only 1 copy, perfect number. 1 copy of Elder of the Six Sam. This is our Cyber Dragon of the deck. If they're able to board wipe us or hit us and we still have back row but have no monsters, this is the easy way of getting the combo fully back established. And then new to the deck, Sheehan Squire. Please excuse the drawings of the ink. Great card. I never used it after the newer decks came out back in the day, and this just sat in my old stuff for a long time. And after seeing how useful this card is, I gotta say, great card to have in the deck. Don't have it more than 2. Don't have it at 2 or more, because if you draw this and not a 6 Sam, you're not doing your combo. And then here's the weird stuff, the weird tech that we have to have in the deck to summon out our Tellarknight. We got 1 copy of Lyreless Sapphire Sparrow. Lyreless Sapphire Sparrow can special summon out itself and another bird if they're both in hand. The reason for this is we're trying to summon out special summon Wagtail. If we special summon out Wagtail, we get to have our Lyreless Bird Sanctuary, which completes the combo that we need to get the 7 pieces on our Tellarknight. So only 1 of each. We don't need to draw these cards These cards could be easily discarded to the graveyard. You don't need them. We will draw into these, however, with Saryuja and the rest of the draw support from the 6 Sam engine. Then I run one copy of Nuburu. I main deck one copy of Nuburu only because I run Gallant Granite. It is a card that brings a rock monster to your hand. I bring this to hand, and then I'll have an extra card to either put back or exchange with Saryuja draw 4. Also is a great card to have in your hand if you're going second. Easily stop their combo, let Nuburu touch the board, and then continue with your 6 Sam combo with them just having a token. So, one copy of Nuburu. On to our spells. Sad to say, we do not have trap cards. So this deck is only monsters and spell cards. We run 3 copies of Shien's Dojo. This is going to be one of the extending pieces that helps us make our Tellarknight hit 7. Everybody knows what this does. If you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you know what it does. This special summons a 6 Sam card from the deck for however many counters are on this card. Then we run 3 copies of Shien's Smoke Signal. This is the Rhoda of the deck, but it can only search level 3 or lowers. We got that 1 Bird Sanctuary. This is the card that's going to transfer our material over from the XYZ monsters that we build over here onto our Tellarknight, so he has enough pieces to do his full effect. I run triple 6 Sam United. The reason for this is you want to have that extra draw, and I don't like the pot cards. I don't like, I like certain of the pot cards. I don't like the heavy costs of banishing extra deck or banishing top 10 cards of your deck. Like, those effects just hurt your deck, and I don't understand why you would even want to use cards that hurt your deck like that. So I'm using this as my draw support. And like I was trying to just say, there are pot cards that I like. Pot of Avarice. Draw 2s, but I got to put 5 monsters back. While you're doing this combo, you're going to want to bring Saryuja back at least 3-4 times. It's great to draw into this, and then once Saryuja gets back in the grave, recycle it, Saryuja back onto the field, you draw another 4. So you essentially drew about like 10 cards off of the Saryuja loop. And then this helps extend it. Now we got our one-ofs. 1 copy of Gateway of the 6 Sam. This card is the MVP of the deck for spell cards. This is the most broken card. That's why it is at 1. If you don't know what it does, this is the main searcher. This is the main counter maker. This is everything that the 6 Sams need to win a duel. I got 1 for 1. And 1 copy of 1 for 1. This will bring either our Wagtail directly from the deck to the field, so we could get Bird Sanctuary to our hand, or it'll bring a Fuma from the deck to the field, so we can continue making counters, so we can get to the infinite, to get to the combo, to get the Tellarknight enough pieces. Then I run 1 copy of Called by the Grave. I run this as a counter to Ash Blossom, DD Crow, and Dimensional Shifter. That's the only reason why I run this, but amazing card. 1 copy of Rhoda. Pretty sure you guys all know what this does. Searches a monster. 1 copy of Temple of the Six. This is a counter maker and a field spell, so I can have multiple cards in the back and also be gaining from my field counters for my field spell zone, on top of making my opponent lose attack power. I run 1 copy of Triple Tactics in the main deck. I'm assuming that they're going to hit me with some type of hand trap. A lot of new hand traps came out. I forget the name of the metal bug that's in the Despia deck. But a lot of decks are going to have hand traps. They're going to activate something on your turn. You're going to get this card off somehow, some way, eventually. Great card to have. Always love to draw more cards to make sure my combo goes more consistently. And last but not least, Monster Reborn. Just a card extender, can make the combo grow. You all know what this does. Okay, we're going to move on to the extra deck. One copy of the Tellarknight Ptolemaeus. One copy of the legendary Six Samurai.Deck. See if I can get the camera to focus. There you go. One copy of Cyframe Omega. The reason for Omega being in the deck, once he gets into the graveyard, you can recycle him and Daigustoed Emerald back into your deck, your extra deck, and then resummon back out Daigustoed Emerald to recycle the Saryuja back into your deck. I run 2 copies of the Shadow of the Six Sam Sheehan. The reason for this is once board's completely left of all the Six Sam pieces, so for example, I link off everything for Saryuja. Now there are no Six Sam cards on field. If Gateway has 6 counters, this Sheehan card can be special summoned from the graveyard, which this was one of the cards used for Saryuja's summon. It can be established back onto board, Kizan can be summoned, and I can continue going on with my combo just off of having these. Then we got our tech, 2 copies of Radical Starling. This searches the Wagtail or the Sapphire directly from the deck to the hand. Can be summoned using the Fumas. So we're going to be using a lot of level 1s in this deck. And this is what we can use as material underneath our Tellarknight. One copy of Gallant Granite. Gallant Granite's only in there to make sure that my combo is extended. I have an extra card in hand, and the extra card in hand just so happens to be something that makes my opponent not be able to summon crazy like I'm doing. One copy of Daigustoed Emerald. This is going to be what we use to recycle our Saryuja and our pieces back into deck to keep going. We could do this combo for like 40 minutes if we really wanted to, but we've shortened it down a lot. We're moving on to the Link monsters. I got 1 copy of Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. This is just to extend the Link plays as I'm building board, or to get rid of problem monsters on my opponent's board. I don't run Super Poly and the Double Twin Bird, I forget what that's called. This is my out to problem monsters that can't be destroyed. Saryuja, amazing card. This is how we draw every card in our deck. This is how we're going to do our engine. This is how the engine works, and this is how we will eventually skip our opponent's turn using Saryuja. 1 copy of Appaloosa. Appaloosa's in there for 2 reasons. 1, we need a card that could take off multiple cards off the field for a summon. And it's also useful to stop my opponent once I establish board and say this combo somehow drops, which it won't. This will be the piece that can stop them from whatever they're activating. Say Battle Fader. Activate Battle Fader for me to try to kill them, and I can negate that. And then we got Reproducus. This is what we're going to use to change our Tellarknight to a wing beast, so our bird sanctuary can actually activate and transfer the material onto him. Very fun dinosaur. And then we got 2 copies of Battle Shogun of the Six Sam. I felt 3 copies wasn't necessary. 2 copies, you could recycle these back anyways. It's not going to matter. 1 copy is not enough. You need to have at least 2. But 3, you're wasting space. That's my extra deck. We'll move on to the side deck. Now just know, I play this game a little weird, guys. Like, I'm old school. I play against random meta people at my locals. My brothers are all hardcore players. Our close friends are all hardcore players. And when I side, it's not even into the actual deck. Most of the time, it's into the side deck, because I'd rather get rid of pieces and then find the answer to the problem and then solve the problem. For example, I run one copy of Nutria Beast and one copy of Nutria Barkion. This is my stop spells and stop trap cards. Depending on what deck you're playing, if you can play through what I'm doing, I'm going to side into these, and I'm going to make sure you can't activate anything. I run one copy of Five-Headed Link Dragon. I can consistently get a board that can summon this card with the full effect, so I can blow up my opponent's whole field, and they cannot target or stop this card's effect once it's activated. One copy of Baron Defleur. Y'all know what this does. It's an Omni Negate, a free pop, and can return itself to the deck. I run one copy of Nutria Extrio. I get this card out using Waking the Dragon, so this is the only way I use it, but this is an amazing card. To get this, Barkion, and Beast on field, you're scooping for sure. One copy of Trishula with the Ice Barrier. If I have to, and I felt like showing my opponent a different type of loop, I can banish every single card from your hand by just continuously special summoning out Trishula. And then for my personal combos, F-Zeros to the Dragonic Future. This is a great overlay card for the Six Sam XYZs. Easy negate one monster effect and take the monster if it's on board, and can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. I run one Gaga Cowboy in case we go to time, or in case my opponent really wants to see the Gaga Cowboy loop. I will show him or her. I run one copy of Dark Ruler No More. 2 copies wasn't... I was drawing it too much. I'd rather draw something else than drawing another Dark Ruler No More. Then I'm just not being able to kill my opponent for another turn. But if they have crazy boards like what I was making or making in the last video, this is a great way to stop the board, work around it, and then once it's cleared, try to win the game. One anti-spell fragrance. Yes, my whole deck is spells, but as you see with the combo, I can easily play my deck and then activate anti-spell on my opponent's turn as a response to a card effect, and not be affected afterwards. Since my cards are continuous and face up, they can be activated multiple times. One copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. I would run Cosmic Cyclones, or what's the other one? Twin Twisters. I don't have them, but Harpy Feather Duster, my go-to, my favorite, clean board wipe in the back. Rigeki is the same for the front. Destroys all the monsters. And then my 2 copies of Waking the Dragon. This is my deck profile for this, guys. If you guys made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe. 93% of everybody's watching this video is unsubscribed, so please subscribe if you can. Hit that like button, and I'll show everybody how this combo works in the next video. Thank you.